What a showdown it was between Simeon and Nazareth. It came down to the very final seconds. Nazareth pulling out the victory 34-27. Beth, what stood out the most to you today?
This was probably the most fun game I've seen all year, the closest game I've seen all year, and truly like just a battle of wits between Simeon and Nazareth. You don't often see teams that can answer an Alante Brown. So Alante Brown, if Simeon is headed to Michigan State, he's really good. He's the real deal. And Nazareth has their own, Michael Love, also really good, the real deal. We're not sure where he's going to go to college yet, but if you remember, his brother Julian Love's at Notre Dame. Kid's talented, and it's just so fun to watch when you get two kids like that on the field playing against each other.
I mean, in the first quarter, it looked like it was all Simeon. It looked like they were going to run away with it. Nazareth couldn't really answer, and then bam, second quarter comes. They've got all the momentum, close it out at halftime, or up 21-14, and you know, I wasn't sure what we were going to get in the second half, but it was a battle back and forth. Came down to, again, like we said, the very final seconds. It looked like Simeon might tie it up with, you know, under 10 seconds left. Were you surprised that they weren't able to get in the end zone there on that final play?
No, not particularly. I feel like if you aren't walking into that situation fully prepared for something like that, whether it's to spike the ball, to get in the end zone, the pressure is on. And some teams do really well with pressure, and some don't. And today, truly, Simeon didn't do well with pressure at the end of the game. Even though they still had to get in the end zone and make the extra point or go for two. Mm-hmm. So the momentum was still in Nazareth's hands no matter what Simeon did on that final 10 seconds, I think.
I mean, despite the loss, we have to talk about play from Alante Brown. There's a reason this kid is committed to Michigan State. He's a superstar out there, and he pushed his team to the final seconds. What stood out the most to you in his play today?
I had just been impressed with his quick strike ability since the first time I've seen him on the field. I know a few weeks ago when I was out here, it's kind of like watching the beginning of one of the Simeon, I think it was the first round of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He scored 3 touchdowns in like a minute and a half. Mm-hmm. The best thing Nazareth did all day was to be on offense and run the ball and run the clock down. I thought they had really smart play calling because you can't stop a kid like Alante Brown. You just mm-hmm. got to not even give him the option to touch the ball, mm-hmm. right?
Right.
So I bet if you look at time of possession that Nazareth had a lot larger time of possession than Simeon.
Absolutely. I mean, that speaks to itself. In the final play, there's just over a minute left, and Alante leads them all the way down to the 2-yard line, and they came up short. On Nazareth's end, you already mentioned him, Michael Love. He sparked things in the second quarter after a pick from Diamond Evans, keep forgetting his last name. Diamond Evans gets the pick. Michael Love finishes it off in the end zone. That really was the start of everything for Nazareth. So what else do you have to say about Michael's performance out there today?
So one of the reasons that I think Michael Love is absolutely in the conversation for the player of the year is because he doesn't just spark this team on offense. He does it on defense. He does it on special teams. There might not be anyone else in the area that you would want the ball in their hands, no matter where it is on the field, more than Michael Love. Right. And that's saying a lot because Alante Brown, he is a stud. He's an athlete that can take it 90 yards in a minute is what mm-hmm. they did for the final 2 minutes of the game. Mm-hmm. And when it comes down to the end, I think I might rather have the ball in Michael Love's hands because he literally can do anything. He was running back for them today. He was the punt returner for them today. He caught 2 touchdowns for them. I mean, what can't he do? And I think that is what drives the player of the year conversation. You see it in like a Jaleel Billingsley. I believe Phillips went down today, but still in the conversation because how can you just put him at quarterback and you win a game, right? And I think just when you have a player that's that dynamic, you can't game plan against him mm-hmm. because you don't know where he's even going to be because he could be everywhere.
Right. Last player we got to talk about, obviously, is J.J. McCarthy. The sophomore quarterback handled pressure like a pro today. I mean, Simeon brought it. There was countless plays where he was pressured in the backfield. He, maneuvered out of it and got a pass off, usually completing for a first down. So there's a lot of incredible stuff we saw out of J.J. McCarthy today. What impressed you the most from the sophomore quarterback?
I'm blown away by his footwork and accuracy. Mm-hmm. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a quarterback, period, that has the patience and also just, like, the ability to control the pocket like he does. His footwork is impeccable. You can't teach that. He's only a sophomore.
Right.
I totally get why colleges are drooling over him. And he throws like the tightest spiral of any kid I've seen in high school for a really long time. So I don't know how you don't walk away being blown away by him. I mean, the first game I saw at Nazareth was Maris, and he threw a couple picks, and I still walked away being blown away by him. I would not want to play Nazareth the next couple of years.
No. And next for Nazareth is the semifinals where they'll play either Batavia or Willowbrook, whoever wins that quarterfinal matchup. And, I mean, what do we think? Nazareth could be a shoo-in to make it to the state championship match.
I mean, I had that game being Batavia-Nazareth. So maybe we'll be right with my bracket, but I did have Batavia coming out on top. I have Batavia winning the whole thing. So we'll see. It's gonna be a good one.
All right. Well, for all your quarterfinal news, make sure you turn in to Sun Times Game Week Monday at 4:30 p.m. We will recap everything from this weekend's action and preview the semifinal action. You don't want to miss it.